Yeah.
Yo, we started? We starting? Oh man.
Wait, what? Toma!
I'm not
Yeah,
even going.
you gotta always give that toma.
I'm not even going to address that, bro.
You gotta always give that toma, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not even going to address that.
We gotta lower our tone, you know what I'm saying? For the neighbors, we gotta keep it,
So,
tone it down for the
how
neighbors.
you doing? Is everybody?
Nah, bro, you sound like you got plugged up or some shit. No, you gotta keep it on a low tone.
I don't know if you remember. It was in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and there was this. What was her name? Banks?
Wait, nigga, what?
Alicia Banks? I don't remember anymore.
Alicia, probably?
The model that was.
Yeah.
And she was playing the character of, I don't remember her name, and Will said some corny to her, and she said that, well, if you want to ask me out, ask me like a real man. And he said, okay. He kicked the bucket from the chair, and he just turned, so Jacqueline, if you would do me the honor of going dinner with me.
Would you mind give me your hand, baby girl?
Hey,
Like the man I'm supposed to be. Wait, what?
everybody, before we start to sidetrack again, welcome back to season 5.
Hold up, is it 5?
Yeah.
Man, I can't count, man. I'm blind. And I'm deaf in the one ear.
Oh, how does the being blind not knowing how to
Exactly.
count?
Don't make sense, right?
That don't
Exactly.
make any sense.
That's how the word works.
That don't make any sense. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Season 5 of OpinionOutlaws. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I did not expect that we would be doing this, but game is game.
Game is game, unfortunately.
And before we start, what have you been doing? How are you, man?
Man.
Summer. We did in the summer. The last episode we did was during the summer.
Yeah, during the summer. It has been a few months. Few months already since we did it the previous season. And then, have you published actually all of them?
I have published the last one, if I remember correctly, because I have timed them, so I'm not sure which one. But yeah, I think I have published
all of them.
All
okay.
of them.
Okay.
In Spotify, they are not still published.
Oh yeah, true.
In Spotify, I showed him.
When my boy said due date till January or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was because I published every little thing that we had, every little podcast.
But was it like weekly or was it
Weekly?
Monthly? Yeah, well, shit.
Think about that, and I was surprised because, my idea was that I would publish once a week one of our episodes that we have done in YouTube. So basically what I did was I just took the YouTube version, I took the photo, put the photo there, audio, and then I just did once a week, and I'm looking at it, it's somewhere around February, March, I'm looking like... well, Spotify will be banging.
Shit. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'll be doing for the past few months. Pretty much has been just work, and now especially during the autumn time, back to school. So gotta do those things at the same time, and then. Well, I've mostly been just enjoying the tiny bit of summer that we have left. I've been motorcycling, being outside, exercising, doing the sprints. So there hasn't been much in a sense. I've visited different cities, went to Tampere, went to the, Helsinki area, or how we call it, the PK-seutu, or the area 3, no, the circle 3. Circle 3, Circle 1, and Circle 2. So that area. And yeah, that pretty much has been what I've been doing. I've been busy pretty much. And how about you? What you been doing for the past?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you gotta... Because during the summer, you decided, just when we did our last episode, my guy said, you know what? We do this episode, and then my ass gonna bounce. I'm gonna leave. So tell us how tell first of all where you went.
So basically what happened, we did the last episode and maybe a day after, actually, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. You was around like that after you went
Yeah,
to the airport.
it was. I was with somebody over here, and he came because we had set up that, hey, we do one last episode before I go for the ending of the season, and then I packed my stuff and we went with my brother to our homeland in Kosovo.
He just bypassed the product of me coming here. He just went.
Hey, oh, yeah, I'm trying to play it cool.
Okay,
Would you mind?
Caught him in 4K.
Would you mind? I'm doing you a service, bro. I'm not. I'm not going
I'm
to
just
the
saying.
deep-
I'm just
deep level.
saying. I know. Caught him in 4K.
I've been a good God-fearing man.
Okay.
So we went to hometown Kosovo, and basically what happened was that during the summer over here in Finland, from midway May till mid July, something like that.
Right. Yeah.
It was cold. Like you had to put your sweaters on in Finland.
It was. I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was like what 22 degrees, something like that.
Where?
But it's here in Kuopio
Where?
during the July time.
Where?
Oh, I don't know, man.
Where have you been? No, it was cold. And it's very normal in Finland to be cold seasons during the summer. However, when we went from Kuopio to Helsinki, because the Helsinki is the main airport from Finland. We went to from Kuopio to Helsinki with car. I had to put these long sleeve hoodie and long sleeve pants when I went because it was like 12 degrees.
Yeah. I remember there were those parts where
It was
the
cold.
weather dropped down noticeably.
It was cold. It's June. Why it's cold? I don't like cold. And we had the flight from 6 to 9, and then time difference for 1 hour more, because there's a time difference that there is 1 hour earlier from Finland.
Okay, so basically you go there, you're like 1 hour in the future, in a sense.
You're actually here 1 hour in the future.
Wait,
Because
isn't Albania kind of like...
they are 1 hour behind us.
I thought you meant like the Finland is like 1 hour behind.
No, Finland is 1 hour.
Okay, so basically you went to the past.
Basically, yeah, I went to the past. And we arrived, it was from 7 to 10, and then around 9 something we landed in the local time, and it was 27 degrees.
Respectable.
It was much warmer than any day in Finland has ever been during this year. So we went there, it was hot. It was hot. For us, it was hot because we had used to, but of course, we already know. And we went there, and let's just say we had some experiences. We had some situations where we said, how is this possible? There was a bunch of stuff that happened in Kosovo, and it was like a GTA in real life. I'm not even playing. It was like a GTA in real life. And I will be telling stories from my home place. But that aside, it went well. I enjoyed that time because usually when I am in Finland or I am in the project of making something, I'm doing this. I have to succeed. I have to accomplish. I have to
grind.
You grind, and when you get outside of it and you try to like chill out from it, you take yourself away from it. Even if you do hard things there, like for example, I cut the grass with the reaper.
With the Sith.
Is it the Sith? Yeah. It is. I cut the grass with the Sith, which is hard. But I did it, even though it's hard, for me, it's a break from this part of life. And we were there for about a month, something like that, about a month. That week that we came back, the good weathers over here started.
Oh.
So basically we
got to enjoy both worlds.
Both worlds. And one thing for Finnish summers is that if it's a sunny day and it's warm day, is beautiful during the night. Like from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. It's so beautiful when you see the horizon, you see the sun. It's not even a sunrise, but basically just sun goes a little bit down. You can still like feel that there's a sun somewhere, and then sun will all rise again. And there's not much of
The
light.
sun doesn't really set that
Doesn't
well.
really set. And then afterwards, I went back to work.
Back at it.
And then I started to go even harder in the gym. I have one project. I have read a book. I do my do's and did my deeds. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, it was a short vacation, quote unquote vacation.
Vacation.
To
It was not a
release,
vacation.
release whatever you had in your mind during the whole year, and you went there, but it wasn't a release. It was actually to gather more information.
Yes, sir.
Boom, bada bim. He came back, and what the hell happened?
Yes, sir. But it went quick. In Kosovo, if you ever go there, you can see the days go like this. Like you wake up, it's a morning, and then you close your eyes, you wake up again, and all of a sudden, hey, wait a second.
Now this nigga takes pics like he's in a coma or some shit.
Nah.
You close your eyes, you wake up. Oh shit! 5 years went by. went by.
Time goes fast, and it's a normal thing. But I'm gonna be honest. I cannot lie to you. I have told you this. I was disappointed in some stuff in my home country. I was so disappointed in some stuff, and because it's not from those people, the people my ethnicity, they are not like that. Like they don't behave like that. So I was heartbroken when I heard, for example, when I saw the police force are now patrolling the streets, I was bamboozled. Why you, out of all the human beings, look like that? If I wanted to, I could scare you to death. You're a police. I shouldn't have this feeling that I can do harm to you.
Why would you want to think like that? Hold on, bro. Just trying
Because somebody else will do harm to them. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking about it that I could do something to you. But what about the other guy who has nothing to lose? In Balkans, if you ever visit the Balkans, they don't smile. They don't have anything to smile for.
dark times, bro. Dark times.
And you can see it like in their behavior. Everybody is nice to you and they treat you well, but they don't have that joyfulness, I don't think.
Or kind of like outwardly expression of being happy in a sense.
Yeah.
Like it's more like, brother, I'm very happy for you, you know, it has been a beautiful year, and, you know, we'll be making money, you know, most happiest I have ever been, and I hope we have more of years like this, and it is what it is, you know.
Well,
God bless.
you summarized very well, bro.
Pretty much.
You summarized it really well.
You know, I got a sun right now, and, you know, it's a beautiful day. You see this little smirk, I'm smiling. God bless.
I would never
Pretty much shit
think
like that, right?
I would never think that you would have a Russian accent.
Uh,
More so a black man in a Russian accent.
Wait, what?
But yeah, it was some things I was so disappointed, and I will tell them, not now of course, but I will tell them that when the season goes on.
Randomly here and there. So,
But
we have that extra content, you know, so we gotta maintain that.
For sure.
But yeah, so all that aside, you know, we were dwelling left and right. How should we like start this season? And you had a fine list of them, you know.
Yeah.
So we have contents for y'all. But for the first episode, because we are technically making this around midnight or close to midnight, so we don't really have much, and we literally had to do this episode during kind of like after our work. After our work day.
After all we have done during the day. Listen, we are doing this out of our own fulfillment, out of our own personal grind. We can leave this alone and it doesn't affect our lives whatsoever.
Other than we just get few more hours to waste on something else,
But I know
invest in something else.
I know you and I know myself that we want to at least see this through to that 100th episode. And then afterwards, what happens. It's our, There is a good saying. You are talking to God. And you say, God, I have a plan. And God says, what is your plan? And you say to God, to follow your plan.
Exactly.
And
Amen.
God says, that's a good plan.
That's the right plan. That's the right plan. God's plan. Simple
God's
as
plan.
that. Yeah, so do you want to kind of like open up the structure of how we're going to do the episodes or what our viewers can expect from the season?
Yeah, I will open up.
Okay, bro. Let the book, you know.
Yeah, I will open up. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
Okay. First thing first, our plan is that we will not do the episodes as long as we did before.
Exactly.
That is our plan. And the reason being is not because we don't have a way of doing it, we can do it, but we don't want to do it just because of having that long or having the conversation that doesn't lead to something that is more accurate or more useful for the viewer. It's not value adding content. And it's not a concept that we want. If it's not doing something, get rid of it. And the second thing is that there is a high probability when we are doing an episode, it can go from 1, 2, or 3 themes or topics, my bad, from 3 topics that we will discuss. And the reason being is that we can then have a better way of having the conversation for that topic and then moving to the next topic. It doesn't dwell like going on circles.
Let's do 3 episodes on the same shit.
Like, yeah, you get what I'm saying. And then, of course, it's because we have now, I'm going to be honest as well, we have a little bit of problem with guests because we don't have good guests that we can bring in front of camera, talking to the microphone, speaking in English for a topic that they are very interested in. So if there is a way that we could have more guests, we would do it because it would be beneficial for them and for us. But we cannot right now. I don't know. There are a lot of people who can do it. So I have discussed this before, but
Yeah,
just
like
to
I said,
mention.
with the guests, it's also pretty much on the topic that we're going to speak on. Because, like I said, I know people, but I'd rather play certain characters in certain topics, not
sure.
pretty much in all topics. Because, you know, how I know certain of my friends, some of them have very tough views on certain things. So I'd rather save them for that thing than to use up their like presence on something that doesn't really benefit them or us in any sense. But yeah, so we have some type of structure how we're gonna go along, and also the other reason why we kind of shortening the episode is to pack it up to a very, how would I say, well summarized, well kind of like so it's not overly or excessively long, because I understand it as a person who enjoys to watch other people's videos, content, whatever. It heavily depends on who am I watching for me to watch a long 1 hour like episode, especially if it's somebody that I do not know. Their topic has to like really catch me on for me to even use up, and even during that time I'm not fully like watching the 1 hour. I might be like skipping to the points I want to hear, and that's it. So I understand. So that's why we're kind of like shortening it up to summarize the main points as effectively as we can, and let's also try to pack it up in a way that you get all the entertainment as well in a short period of time. So if some of you have like shorter time to watch our videos now, it's kind of like your state. This is more of your area now.
Could we say that we are doing like a show here?
Well, it's an entertainment. In the end of the day, even though we're kind of like trying to produce knowledgeable videos, it is entertainment to some degree as well, because they can hear our commentary and then watch our movements and whatever we be doing, especially the ones that watch through YouTube. But the ones that then listen to us mostly, then they get to hear our voices and changes of tone. So it is some type of entertainment. But yeah, so let's go to the main pie.
All right.
What is our today's topic? What are we going through?
Today's topic actually it stems from the theme that I put up. It goes for feeling of belonging somewhere. And our first topic actually goes against it, that why there are many people who feel like they don't belong anywhere. This is like the main topic now we are discussing. This is more like opening act of the season 1's episode 5. A pilot.
But before we go anywhere further with that, we always gotta keep our viewers active and attentive.
Oh, true.
Because some of y'all be doing that. So we gotta keep.
Yeah, turn that shit off, bro. If you ain't doing so, just go away. No.
So y'all know what y'all need to do. First of all, y'all gotta like, subscribe, and put that comment down below. And always remember to press on the bell notification, so you'll get notified every time we post a new video. So y'all know what to do. Don't be a bee. Don't be a bee. I'm looking at you right now. Don't be a bee.
He's looking at you. He's looking at you.
Do what y'all need to do, and let's get back to it.
Yes, sir.
So what you were saying?
I was saying, belonging. Now, as a human beings, we had that innate need for belonging somewhere. And our first topic stemmed from that belonging, the word itself. Now, the question is, why there are so many people that feel that they don't belong anywhere? I would start by questioning this. What does the word belonging mean? And let's go with you. When you say that I belong in this group, or when you say I don't belong in this group, what does that mean to you?
Are you asking me for the? Well, it kind of answers the term in itself, but are you like my view on what it means, or how generally the term means?
How do you view it? But of course, how you view it from an objective perspective. I want to see your view. I want to see your world.
Well, with this word, because it kind of like intertwined with the official meaning of it as well, so it kind of doesn't really matter that much. But how I view the belonging is that you kind of can see that certain of your values or how you view things or your opinions as well align with, let's say, certain amount of individual, for example, or certain community. You find that your values or whatever you have, your hobbies, your interests, or even your, how would I say, fetishes align with. I don't know why I came with that word, but that was something that came up to my mind.
You are nasty, boy. Jesus Christ.
Shut up, nigga. But any of those align with certain community or group, and that thing in itself that you feel like, oh, somebody has the same interest as I do, create that feeling of belonging to something or being connected to something. And that's the first thing. You feel connected to something. That's how you come to the conclusion of belonging to something. You're connected to it. So, how would I say? For example, in football, because we kind of also got to clear out that, you can be in a group, but not necessarily feel like you belong in a group.
That's why I asked that, what it's like when you don't belong
in a group.
Yeah, that's why I put both ends of a spectrum, and then I wanted you to open up both.
Yeah, kind of open up. Yeah, because let's not mix it up just because you feel that you align with certain of your interests or likes or your opinions with somebody that you belong with them. Because let's be honest, if you go with a radical way, as a black guy, your thoughts might align with a KKK member, but you might never belong to that group in a sense. I'm just saying, throwing it out like there, let's not, throw the shades. It's kind of like the same, like saying back in the days, no, we gotta always respect that.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but do you know why I'm laughing this hard? You remember the Chris Rock special where he says that there are black people and then there are and then he said we love black people but we hate
Exactly. Well, hey, but that's kind of like demonstration of that both of them are qualified as black people,
yeah
but certain spectrum is having certain traits on top of just the skin color that kind of like separates them already.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm like generally trying to saying, like, think about it. It's kind of like same saying that a Jew in back in the days in Second World War time, no, hey, respect the survival of Holocaust, but Jew back in the day who would be like, hey, fuck Jews. Does he belong to the Nazis now?
yeah
Does it automatically include him with them? I mean, he might have the same thought, mindset of, which wouldn't make sense anyway. But you get the point that you still can have certain interests with some here and there, but it might not necessarily mean that you belong to that automatically. But yeah, so what I was trying to say earlier that same in sports, you might all play together, do this and that in that team, but let's say you feel like you're being treated differently in that team that you're playing in. Like example, let's say hypothetically football. Somebody might think, oh, he's talking about personal experience. Might be, might be not. But let's say in that team, you are never being passed the ball or nobody's thanking you for giving a nice assist or cheering you on. You are in that team, but because you feel like you're being treated like you're not in that team, even though you are in that team, creates the sense that you do not belong in it. In contrary, somebody who's playing with the team and the team is encouraging, cheering on, motivating you to do this and that creates the sense of you belong to that thing. To see a different scenario of the same situation. But that's probably what you were like getting at with the word belonging.
yeah
So how would you hey, don't you try to throw me under the bus and not, jump on it too.
yeah
So how do you personally like view the belonging and the kind of like how you said it yourself, because the word belonging can happen in same scenario mean two different things,
Yeah.
that it's you might belong in it and you might not belong in it. So
Yeah.
how do you view it?
well
I mean,
now
did it
I
make
am
sense what I say?
yeah I
But
get,
you got what I
I
mean.
get it. I can read minds, like.
Amen.
And for me, the word belonging, it has a little bit of a stray for me, because I had a hard time to belong somewhere. I'm talking about my personal experience, and the reason why I am the way I am right now is because that I didn't belong, not because I didn't want to. I surely, when I was a kid, I wanted to belong in that group or in that setting or in that environment that I was, but I was not. I was not belonging there. And it was, like you said, that the treatment in itself was that this guy doesn't belong. And for me, it got to a point where I had two paths. Path number one was that I'm calling it to sell your soul. Basically, what it means that you tone down your identity, you take down your pride, you throw away what makes you you, and you pile up things that are acceptable to this group, which is called Finland, and this group of people here, and you do those things, so therefore you belong in that group. Or to choose this difficult path, which is you don't take away your pride, you don't take away your identity, you don't take away things that make you you, but you suffer the consequences of being lonely. You suffer the consequences of not getting chances. You suffer the consequences of having the things stripped away from you just because you're not belonging with them. And now, when I chose this path, I don't know how much it was from God, I don't know how much it was from me, but I know for a fact that it was either part of me or all from God. It was never a question of, because I never was ready to do this path. It tempted, Like when a beautiful woman, it tempts you that, hey, I want to talk to you. But what about if you go and talk to her and all of a sudden you're doing something that you ain't supposed to do? Protect yourself.
Plead the fifth.
Protect yourself.
Plead the fifth.
You don't know. Because how many times have you seen a beautiful woman said STD? Tell me, how many times?
I plead the fifth.
How many times, I'll be honest with yourself, you have seen the gorgeous woman and you said, she might have STDs. Never once. Do you know why? Because you think that somehow she's not human. She's as human as everybody else. She just have been blessed with good looks. You think that she doesn't have STDs. You crazy. There's a chance. There's always a chance. I'm not saying that she has. Don't unquote me this. Don't take me out of context.
Bro, you go crazy. All of a sudden, the main topic of this episode gonna be with the big letters STD. Is it or is it not?
Is it or is it not? But you get what I'm saying, that there is this fine line, and when I chose this difficult path, I knew that this path will be a lot of trenches and will be a lot of problems and there will be a lot of sacrifice. But now when years go by and you see the product, I'm always thankful that I was on this path. Even though I'm not in the place that I want to be. There's a lot of things that I'm still doing and I have to do before I leave this world. But the word belonging to me, it's such a unfamiliar word for me. The belonging, the closest thing I have to a belonging is when I'm spending time with my parents and my brother. That is the closest thing maybe to the word belonging. Not because I don't have friends, good friends. I'm grateful and I thank God.
The selfish bastard, unbelievable.
I thank God every day that I have.
You already forgot Bunny is like.
I thank God every day that I have close friends, just like you, for example, that I can count on even the darkest days.
Bro, I'm dark myself. What the hell? Unbelievable, this nigga.
I know that for a fact, and I know that I am a very lucky person for it, and God has given me this blessing that I have that. But still, to feel that you are belonging somewhere. No, even you mentioned sports. Even in sports, I have never felt like I was belonging somewhere. I just had to become so good that when the time came, they couldn't ignore me. That was always the case. That's why I like, for example, the sports, the martial arts, for example, because you cannot fake. You cannot fake strength. Okay. Strength is hard to fake. So when you are strong, whether you like it or not, that man or that woman is better than you, or you are better than them. That's why I like that the word belonging there, it kind of goes very blurry because it doesn't matter what you are until you are strong. I don't know how much I summarized this my own way of looking at it to belong, but then when you look at the objective way, because like I said, I can give you biased version of me and I can give you unbiased version of belonging, but I can give you what it means from a dictionary standpoint. And basically what it means, what you said, when the interests or values align with one another. And it doesn't mean that there is a big group that you belong or a small group that you don't belong. It actually means that you and me are interested in same topic or same theme, and we align with that.
And actually, when I thought about it for a moment, listening to you, actually I wanted to add up onto the belonging part because I want to fix up a little bit what I said. Mostly it is about, when it's your thoughts and things and align, crack, yes, exactly. When things align, opinions align, usually you start feeling like you belong. But example, in situation where there's a family and the let's say you have one sibling that has like different thoughts of things, how they want to do things.
Yeah.
But your parents still treat them, like they're, takes gives them attention, show them love and all that, even though that child might have different views on, like, say, worldly views or
Yeah.
opinions on certain things, but they can still feel like they belong into that family, a household. So that's why I want to fix it up, that you can still feel belong even though your opinions differ or your thoughts, values, whatever differs to some degree. You can still feel belong as long as whatever group or community or society, whatever, makes you feel that you are heard and appreciated. I would say like that.
Yeah.
That is the thing that creates the sense of you belong somewhere.
Yeah.
But in a core thing, let's say, for example, somebody who moves from a country to a new country. That's probably pretty easy to, how would I say, the international student, the ones that transfer, exchange student, yes, exchange students. They usually gets to experience this a lot, the sense of that they might not belong or they might belong, and a lot of time or a lot of cases it depends on when they move travel. Let's talk about university, for example. When they exchange to another country's university, how that university student treat them or takes them along into certain thing. Usually they feel like they do not belong because of the culture. Or like people look different than how they look and how they speak, for example. The culture is totally different to them, so they automatically feel the culture shock and that they do not belong to the place. And of course, some of them take it as an adventure, but that's a different topic. But yeah, and of course that's understandable. We all get that. When you put yourself in the situation where it's not familiar to you, you already start to feel that you don't belong there. But then, let's say that university students take care of you. Immediately takes you in and be like, hey, this and that. Hey, this is this teacher. Introduce you to a lot of new people and takes you to certain events. And slowly but slowly, you start to feel like you belong when the people around you treat you like you belong with them, or you're one of them. Pretty much, people around you treat you like you're one of them. That's how you automatically feel like you belong to that group. And of course, some might say there's exceptions. The ones that even though you give them that attention of hey, you one of us, you with us, but they still feel empty inside. That's kind of, I would say, exceptions.
But that's their part.
Yeah, that at that point, that's something I would say there's something going on with you as a person as well. But that's why I qualify them as exception, because both of us might have experienced it as well. That of course, people around us is like, hey, yeah, bro, you can talk to me anytime, but no, I
don't want to talk to you.
Pretty much. Not that you're a bad person, but I don't feel like, because
we don't have that connection. I'm honest. I can look at somebody and say that whatever I talk to you, you will not understand what I'm saying about this topic. I'm not saying that you're a bad guy or a stupid guy. All I'm saying that if we two talk, you ain't gonna understand where I'm coming from. Even though I give you all the possibilities, I give you all the pictures, I can frame it and put it up on the wall. But if you cannot concept of what I am trying to say to you,
what use?
You have played God of War, right?
Yeah, the older ones.
The older
ones.
And
actually, I played the newer one, the first. No, the second.
The second one. So basically, the character Odin that is in the second one.
Bitch.
There is a scene where he says that I can explain it to you, but I cannot understand it for you.
So
it summarized perfectly. What you told was in my university that I was studying at the time, and I was working at the university, and they even told me the main staff of the university, because they wanted to bring more from exchange students from outside of EU. They want to bring more exchange students because the exchange students, when they come outside of EU, they will pay the tuition. So the university will make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? It's is not as bad as in US, but
Still a hefty price.
still a pretty good price. And
What is it like? Depending on the subject or depending on the major, it goes from 3K a semester or 2.5K to around 10K.
yeah, something like that. I remember
The
it
highest
was
probably 9.5 or 7.5K.
8K was for our exchange students
Yeah,
from
for
our
So it's a hefty price, let's say like that.
anyway. And the staff, the whole plan was, and they still have this plan, that they would bring as much of exchange students as possible. But every exchange student that have come in or outside of EU had the same experience, where the only people that they are hanging out with are others, exchange students. They are not Finnish people from this country. And then they asked me that, why is it? And I told them, because the cultural clash is so big. It's so, you cannot even imagine how different is the cultural, that when, if we take my culture and your culture, when we talk with each other and we speak about things, they are pretty similar, right? We just talked before we started the podcast about the parenthood. If you treat some elder well, it goes straight respect to your parents. But if you treat bad, that same disrespect goes straight to your parents. It doesn't. Of course, it goes to you as well, but it goes to the parents as well. And I'm talking about now, back in the days, if you treated somebody bad that was elder than you, and then the disrespect went to your parents and they heard about it because the communities were small, you came home and all of a sudden you are learning about something in a respectable manner. Now,
We don't condone child abuse.
oh no, I was saying something, but I'm gonna keep last line. And now, when the culture clashes with one another, it's normal that you have that friction with one another. But then, Finnish culture in itself is very closed. Like, from a base is very close, that people are not that open or don't have that conversation with one another as the same way as in your culture or my culture. And it's very normal when an exchange student comes here and has that cultural shock that, okay, how is this possible that I don't belong with them? It is possible. And they told me, and they tried to like snatch ideas from me, that would there be some kind of events or some kind of way that would bring exchange students and with the regular students together? And I said to them, when it comes to being student in Finland, the only way to get these two groups together is by drinking alcohol. And they laughed about it a little bit, but it was the truth. Like, there's no sporting event, no bowling, no card game, no board nights, no nothing that can make me believe that you can bring a lot of local students and a lot of exchange students together to have fun other than drinking alcohol. Here. I'm talking about here.
Pretty much.
So to belong somewhere, you said it perfectly. You can be in a group, but belonging in a group, two different stories. Story time. I met this woman. I'm just ranting today. I'm having a good day, even though it's midnight.
Amen. God bless. God bless.
God bless. All glory to God. I have to say this.
Amen.
It's the truth. I'm speaking today because of God.
Amen.
Story time. I met this beautiful woman a long time ago, and she had everything that I wanted in a woman. And you can see from her eyes that she was lonely, because usually when a woman is beautiful and she has all going for her, she's usually very lonely because she doesn't want to be with anybody. Like, my bad. She doesn't want to be with somebody who is nobody. And then she meets someone who is at her level, but she sees something in him that it gives away immediately. she meets someone who is rich, who is tall, who is good looking, who has all these traits, but then the only good personality trait that he has is that he has money.
Nowadays,
That kind of woman, she has a very difficult time, and I would say, it's very admirable. She would post, for example, photos or stories in her Instagram where she would be with friends or she would hang around in the clubs or in the bars. But you can see through that she's a very lonely person because she doesn't belong there. Even though she's looking like she's having a great time, she's not belonging there. The same thing I can say for us, for example, when we are in a group setting and me and you and our other homeboy, we are not in that group setting. Immediately we have that we are not belonging in this group. Like you said, hey, how you doing, everybody? Nice to meet you. It's great to hear you. But it's not belonging with them.
I mean, we know this feeling very well. Like, how would I say, clubbing party life of this country pretty much consists of, or outing pretty much, most of the time consists of, drinking, getting drunk, getting wasted, etc., etc. That's qualified as having fun. And lucky for us, we've never like felt like need of belonging to that, how would I say,
Occupation,
group in a sense. Like, because I would say like this, because imagine, it was back in high school, it was literally three of us in a sense that were like, nah, do this and that, nah.
Do you know the looks that people give us?
Oh, I remember. Even till this day.
Even to this day.
You know what was the worst part? Yeah, what I'm trying to pretty much like explain is, because we three were the type of guys who were like, we don't drink, we don't smoke. Even though nowadays, you know what, I qualify alcohol as drug. Literally, it's a drug, but for some reason we just call it different thing. But we don't do drugs. We don't out like that. We don't, we just, do sports, play, and mind our business. That was pretty
basically
much.
that's what you do.
So you can imagine when you are kind of like always the odd one out of the group, like even though the rest of the times you could like behave similar to them, but in this certain area you automatically were outed out of the group because you just had a different value or a way of viewing things. It was, how would I say, kind of interesting times. But back then, even nowadays, I mean, I couldn't give a shit. To be honest, I couldn't give a shit. I'm proud of it that we chose our way, and that was that. Because literally, I remember when I was during army time, I was literally the only guy who didn't drink during that, only guy. And you can imagine the faces of, hold on, you don't drink? You don't get wasted? Oh boy, we're gonna get you wasted after we've, because I was serving for 1 year, so they were like, during that 1 year, we're gonna get you to drink. Till this
I
day.
wish you would.
I wish you would, man. Like I told them, like, always I haven't been interested on the drinking life, especially when you see it on a sideline on top of that. And some of us have experienced it in our household as well. So that could be one reason also why we're not really interested in it at all. So that was at least our kind of like main situations where we felt clearly that we did not belong on majorities group pretty much. But hey, that's that, because it's life choices. Sometimes you gotta choose the situation where you do not belong into a certain group and have a better life. Kind of same with having connection with God.
For sure.
Majority of how I see society being like fuck God, blah blah blah. Nah,
that's crazy word.
That's crazy word, bro.
That's crazy word.
I love you as human, but I don't belong with y'all. I'm trying to keep my ones with ones.
Yes, sir. But I have a question actually for this, and I have talked to you about this not in these episodes, but in life in general. I have talked to you about this, and I have this theory.
Theories.
And I have talked about this with not only with you but with many people about stuff of belonging with one another, because you have experienced it and you have experienced that you meet someone and you kind of feel like we connect on a very many levels. And then you meet somebody else, and even though they are, the way they speak, the way they behave, the way they act are very similar, but with this person you don't connect at all in any way, and you don't belong in. So then when you dig more to the
You would dig.
yeah, well, what you're thinking.
Well, I literally heard dick. I was like, what?
When you dig more to the person, you see that this person who you connect with has suffered the same thing as you have suffered. But this person, even though they are a good person and they do the same things that they do, with this person, they have suffered very different things from you. Or they haven't suffered as much as you, or they have suffered so little that there's a disparity between you. So my question to you, to the connection and then to the belonging, how much have you seen for yourself that if you have met a person and they have suffered the similar things, or they have suffered as much as you or more than you have had an easier way of connecting with them and then therefore feeling of belonging?
Oh, well, I kind of have, well, of course, experience on it in itself as well, but I would say this has two ways for me at least to go. First one is the typical how people would say generically, it's a trauma bonding, because you feel like somebody who has gone similar type of experience as you, so you kind of like emotionally connect with each other, one another. The other one, it relates to the trauma bond, but it's more of a, that person understand me, because even though I might not say everything that is in my, how would I say, how I've experienced certain thing, they understand it way better than somebody who hasn't experienced it to some degree. Let's say, for example, somebody, war veterans. It's much more easier for war veterans to like connect with one another than with civilian, for example. Not that they might like each other. Let's say they're not the best friends, but it's much more easier for them to connect with one another because both of them have experienced it, and the other one can, in a sense, have a much more clearer picture of the other one's experience. And we have kind of like, as a military conscripts, we have that very same view as well. Because remember when you served and you got out of the army, and when you were like, oh, you remember this and that, blah blah blah, civilians didn't understand what you're talking about, even though some have some type of picture of it, but they didn't understand it.
When I went to my own land, and there I started to tell these stories, they were looking at it like I was telling them a movie or something.
But you get what I mean. Like, people don't. When you have same experiences, it's much more easier for you to connect because the other one has much more clear vision of what, or picture or experience on what you went through, and you don't. And also it lessens the verbal communication, because to somebody who hasn't experienced what you have experienced, you have to explain a lot of things. So that automatically creates the distance with them. That, But of course, I don't want this to push too much on the belonging part, because that might not automatically close out. Because let's say, example, war veteran and their spouse, the other one might not have gone to the war in itself, but they belong together. They feel the belonging of with one another. So that's why I don't want to push it too much as a one thing. But your main question was that, like, how was it more like?
Well, you answered it, basically. And I think we could take one more question and then wrap it up. What about, how do you see this? Is it a good thing, a bad thing? Should we push to be belonging somewhere, or how do you see this?
No. I wouldn't say even about how do you see this. I want to actually touch what you mentioned earlier about the transfer student.
Okay.
Because when the teacher were asking you about what are the ways that we could actually improve that exchange student would come more to the more study in Finland and so on, so on. Easiest way, or not really easiest way, but in order for, like we mentioned earlier, in order for somebody to feel that they belong, even though they're in, how would I say, place that is unknown to them or culture that is unknown to them, is for the person who is from that land to open their arm and introduce them to the culture, because that's how it starts. Because it don't makes, of course, there's always the exceptions, the ones who are like for the adventure, travel, and want to explore everything themselves. That's exception. Majority of people are scared of new things, or how would I say, not necessarily scared, but it kind of like feels noticeably more difficult for them to put themselves in certain situations. Like, hey, let me meet the new, let me meet the local, let me talk to a random local. Nah. So it should be in a way that whenever somebody who comes from abroad to exchange, for example, exchange students comes to our campuses, one of the locals should be automatically the one that comes up, hey, yo, what's good, man? How you doing? You know, so, hey, have you been in sauna, yo? No, man, you missing out. You missing out, bro. You gotta pull up too. And but that's how it starts, cause
We are patenting this, so if any university does this, we want their money.
Because you remember, actually, the reason why I touched that is, you remember how we met?
Yes, I remember.
Pretty much the same logic.
Yes, sir.
Somebody who clearly, even though you were, how would I say, your background is somebody who's foreigner, but you were born here.
Yeah.
So to some extent, you are much more local. And as a person who moved to this country, when I came in, bro, I didn't know y'all Albanian different. Y'all all were white to me, pretty much. So when one of y'all white guys is like, hey, yo, what's good, man? What's good? That's how it starts.
Yes, sir.
And slowly but slowly, hey, yo, my nigga, hey, yo, bro, we will belong all of a sudden and all that. It starts, so that would kind of like improve. Of course, we have the other issues of the local scene itself.
Yeah.
You know, they're very shut in.
Yeah.
But in order to help the situation that you was asked for, new would be that locals have to take the responsibility, much more, in order for the exchange student to feel belonging. Because exchange student can be active and talk with randoms, but that automatically doesn't create the feeling of belonging to that group. But yeah, that's
that's an, I would say, like you said, easiest way. It's not easy, but that's the easiest way to make them feel like they belong. But there's a great contrast about this. Because if you go, for example, in Kosovo, if you are an outsider, you will be treated, hey, welcome, how you doing? Like if you ever as an outsider, this is a pro tip, if you ever as an outsider go to Kosovo and then somebody invites you to their home, you will not leave that home without great food. Like it will be packed,
taken care of.
Like, and it's a custom there. For example, my mama. An example, what happened this year happened. There was a renovation about the windows of their apartment in my parents' home, and the thing is that in our culture, if somebody comes into your house, you immediately give them food. It's the culture of the place. And basically is that if somebody comes to work there, if somebody comes to visit, if somebody is sick or anything, you give them food. So my mama, she made some food, put a Coca-Cola bottle and some plastic bottles, and she put it for them, and it was like visible for them. For 2 days, 3 days, they worked there. When my mother came back, she like, we know that Finnish people are not accustomed to it, but when she came back, they didn't even touch it. They did not touch it at all, and it was clearly like you cannot miss it, and it was for them. Like it clearly, the only thing they didn't say was the note that, hey, this is for you.
There was, hey, yo, do you edit that shit? Nah, bro, I don't want to get sued.
You get what I'm saying? It was funny to see because it's a custom to our culture, but What I'm saying is that in our culture, if you're outsider, you're already being brought as, hey, welcome, you belong. And that's why when you ask outsiders, people outside of Kosovo, that how did you experience that? Oh, it was a great place.
Hospitality.
Hospitality. Like everybody can say that. Contrast to Finland, for example. Finnish people are not bad people, like innately bad people, but their customs are very different from a normal human interaction that you will see outside of Finland. And there is also there is a lot of history behind it, so it's hard to or even impossible to judge Finnish people why they behave the way they behave. But you said very well. Sauna, for example, is one thing that you don't see it almost anywhere in the world. Have you experienced a sauna?
Oh,
You have missed out.
you're missing out, bro. You're missing out.
Example.
Pull up.
Example. There are certain things, but of course there was this other part that I was not interested of doing that because I was not getting enough paid.
Oh, man, shut up, man.
Hey, if you're good at something, you don't do it for nothing.
Exactly. And if it's free, remember you're the product.
You're the
But actually, I wanted to finish this topic with you actually
Ooh.
on how would you, I would say, have you, two quick questions. Have you experienced or do you remember any situation where you had to or you were the one that were being, well, let me correct it actually. Have you experienced belonging recently or in the past years that kind of like stuck up on your mind at all? Was it out of the situation that you mentioned earlier about family? Because I bet there has been probably something in history that created the sense that you belonged in it to some degree. Not maybe that you were cuddling. Oh shit, this is my house. But you felt for a moment like, hold up, like what's this feeling all of a sudden? And then the second thing that I want to follow up into that is what would be, because the one that I gave was solution that I see workable, but what would be another example that you feel that could work for that situation of somebody that does you want to make somebody feel that they belong into something. What would be your solution for them, or easing up that they can go from that situation of not belonging to belonging?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember. I don't recall that I have had, even in my family. Not listen. I'm not bashing on anyone. Like there, even in Finnish people in itself, I can say there are great human beings that I've met during my workplace. From outside of my workplace, I've met great Finnish people, but there is a big wall of suffering and work that has been done when it comes to my soul, to myself, that I haven't met still one singular Finnish human being that has done the same work, that has done the same suffering that I have done. And because of that, there's always that disparity, there's always that edge where it will not cross. It will not cross. And even my family, yeah, there is a sense of belonging. But the 100%, like you said, oh, this is home, I don't remember. I don't have any recalling or any kind of image where I said that, okay, this is where I belong.
For $5.99, we'll discover in next episodes about Idal's dark past. Keep tuned up, and you will find out.
Hey, hey, you trying to make a show out of it? What you talking about?
Hey, we do nothing for free.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? And because of that, for me, it was always more important that I make people included in order for them to have, because I don't, of course, usually the first thought in my mind is that if somebody comes from outside, they are very vulnerable. And if they are very vulnerable, the last thing you want to do is to be an asshole to them. So, to your question, follow-up question, because I don't know if that answered my first question. But the follow-up question, that what would there be things or stuff to do in order for them to have that sense of belonging somewhere? I don't have a good advice on this, because I'm not that guy who have felt that. How was it that somebody took you in, or when you went somewhere you felt like you belong? I'm not the right guy. I can give you like general advice, how it would be like a good way of doing it. For me, the good way of doing it from an objective standpoint was that you said earlier something about that somebody would include you. What about if somebody that already is living there, that is from the same culture as you?
But you know what that issue would create? Not really mixing up with the native, I would say, in a sense, because that's the first thing what usually when you travel abroad, or well, not really the first thing, but this moment that you actually feel belong is when you meet somebody who speaks your tone or looks like you or behaves like you. You kind of like automatically connect with them. But that's kind of like bad in a sense, because it kind of like don't create that real sense. Well, I wouldn't say a real sense, but don't put you in that situation of actually unknown and then belonging into it. Because you're kind of like going to something that is already familiar to you and then trying to belong to it.
And of course, there's always those, well, guys, usually guys. Now, for example, you and my brother, cars. Example.
Doesn't require much.
And my brother, I have told this before, is a car fanatic. He has this wide knowledge of cars, and it's amazing that he remembers all those things. And he meets you, and you could talk with two cars about him for hours and hours upon
And
end.
I even know half of the shit he be saying, but still, hey, gotta keep it up.
And he's my brother. Like, the only way that you know him is through me. But that creates that sense of belonging, because even though he's from a different culture, you're from a different culture, you don't look alike, you don't speak the same language, you can still connect
On the interests.
on the interest. And that happened actually during the May. You remember when we were on a car show? I was great that I can open up a conversation, but I don't belong there. My brother, for example, when I opened the conversation with somebody and he jumped in the conversation, he can then start to talk about cars. And the guys who were there, they were car guys as well. So the connection started immediately. So that sense of belonging, how to go about it, I'm going to be honest, I don't have good ways of doing it, other than that if you have a value of an interest, don't change it to belong. Keep that interest, keep that value. Even it is better to be alone and good than to be with a group and be bad. I had this conversation with one human being. I'm not going to say who or what gender or what kind. I had this conversation where they said that why you're not doing it, everybody is doing it.
We have all had those conversations, right?
And I said to them,
You're a bitch.
and I said to them that if everybody is doing it, does it still make it good?
If everybody's doing it, something's wrong.
Like, just a quick example, and this actually this is the thing that many people do, and a lot of people do: backbiting, talking behind your back, gossiping. Everybody's doing it. It's not a good thing. It's still not a less of a bad thing. It's still not a good thing. It's a bad thing that just everybody is doing it. You don't do it. Simple as that. So what I'm trying to say is the advice that how to belong in some group or something. Don't ask me. But what I can say is that if you have an interest or if you have a value, don't change it for you to belong somewhere. That's my final message for this episode.
You heard the man.
You?
Man, if you don't get your scribbity scrappity dick dabbity dabbity on liking, subscribing, and commenting down below, man, I'm gonna come with your nightmares. I'm gonna backhand you and give you a kiss on your forehead and tell you to praise the Lord.
Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. No. But in serious tone, very nice topic. Very nice topic. We might kind of like grace the topic a little bit on some other topics, but as a main subject, we close this off on the good note of, if you want to belong somewhere, be open for people to
Oh, for sure.
receive you in, I would say, and also the other spectrum, be open to also bring people in
Yeah.
and show them around and allow them to feel like they're home, even though they might be different color than you, different ethnicity, different culture, whatever it is.
You think that shows my friends?
Shut up, nigga.
you think that shows my friends over color, bro? Please.
Hey, but yeah, on a serious note, it was a nice topic. I like it. Good conversation got going on.
Yes, sir.
And as a first episode, pretty well.
Oof.
Especially when you think about the time, shit, it's almost
Hey, it's midnight.
it's almost 11:30.
It's midnight.
But yeah,
Like you said, thank you for watching and listening, and I hope that you keep watching and keep listening.
exactly.
I don't have anything else to say. God's grace.
God, great. Till next one.
Peace.
Oh, Lord saves. Lord saves. Ooh, Lord. Ooh, Lord.